Hello and welcome. Today's workout is a 10 to 15 minute stretching workout. When you're doing stretches, the muscle should feel a sense of elongation. There should be no pain. If you're stretching into pain, that means you're pushing too far or too hard. Follow along best you can. I'm going to go head to toe. Stretches should generally be held for 15 to 30 seconds. If I hold stretches for a little less, it's because we're doing a little bit more of a dynamic movement and we're bringing blood flow to certain areas, so some may not be held as long, and generally 15 to 30 seconds is ideal. Okay, let's get going. So first stretch I'm going to start with is our neck. We're tilting our heads to the side, our chests are open, allowing your neck to fall to one side and completely relax your body. I'm going to come up and do the other side. Do each of those movements one more time. And up again. Now we're going to take our head and turn it to the right. Again, chest is open. We curl forward a lot in our daily living these days. We're sitting at desks. We're doing things that they're constantly using the front of our body. And we don't often stretch out the back of our body. So we want to really open the chest, let the neck stretch, and back to the right, as far as feels comfortable for you. And to the left. Okay, now we're going to take neck down on our chest. Doesn't have to touch the chest, but the chin is aiming to the chest. And the head gazes up slightly. I've been dealing with a neck and back injury for years, so for me, putting my neck too high doesn't feel good. You do what feels right for you. And one more. Up and down. Excellent. Okay, next we're going to move into shoulder and tricep stretch. You're going to take one arm, putting it up above the head, reaching to the mid-back, taking the other hand and pushing to feel a stretch in the back of your arm and through the front of your shoulder. So this one we're going to hold a little longer than the next stretches. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So left arm goes up, right arm's used as a guide. Again, you're pushing to a point of elongation. You should feel a stretch in the muscles, but there should be no pain. A few deep breaths, brings oxygen into the muscles. Great job. Okay, moving into a shoulder stretch. I know a lot of my clients have shoulder injuries, and this is something that we're working on. Really difficult to stretch, but here's one that I'm going to offer for you. If you have shoulder injuries, just be cautious. If you have any pain, again, please stop and find an alternative that works for you. Across the body, the other arm comes up, grabs the forearm, and essentially you're pulling and should feel a stretch all through the side of the shoulder. Moving to the other side, same principles apply. You don't want to be pulling on your elbow joint, you want to be sure that you're pulling on your forearm to get the stretch in the shoulder. Putting pressure on the joints isn't ideal and doesn't accomplish the same goal. So that concludes the shoulder stretches. Now we're going to move into stretching out our chest. So we're taking our hands, clasping them behind our backs, opening the chest, And if you can slightly lean back with your head up, you're pulling your shoulder blades together to accomplish a chest stretch, a chest opening. You can move your hands down if you're not really feeling the chest stretch, and really accentuate the pull and the opening. Great job. Next, we're going to bend over, touching our toes. You're going to bend over slowly. You're going to feel it in your hamstrings, the backs of your legs, and your low back. And you're letting everything feel loose. We don't want to hold our necks. Everything is loose. Hands as far down as is comfortable for you. And just relax. There should never be any bouncing in a stretch. It should just feel relaxed and comfortable. The brain has time, curling up slowly. The brain has time to tell the muscles it's safe to relax. And you get a feeling of calm and ease in your muscles. We're going to take one foot, the left foot is going to go over the right foot, and we're going to bend over, same position as we did just a moment ago. And relax. And we're going to curl up. Every vertebrae comes all the way up. We're going to switch feet and do the other side. So right foot steps over the left foot, crosses over, and you're leaning down. Again, letting everything be loose. Rolling all the way up. Amazing. Next exercise, next stretch we're going into is for our quads, the fronts of our legs. These are often very tight on most people. Use the quad muscles for everyday movements, walking, stepping up a stair, going up a hill. Everything we do, we use our quads, and they're often very tight. So find your stable ground. You're pulling one foot behind the body. Keeping the knees tucked in close together is the key to this one. Chest is open. We're going to hold here for another 10 seconds. You're doing great. If you need better balance, better stability, one arm out. Tummy's tight, standing nice and tall. You're doing great. 3, 2, and let's switch feet. So when you're doing this stretch, if you are having difficulty pulling your foot to get the stretch behind your body, if you have pants on, you can also grab onto the pant leg, which would hold the leg up. So you may not get as deep of a stretch, but at the end of the day, you're still allowing the muscle to stretch the opposite direction, and instead of the contraction phase that you're often in. Obviously my right side was far stronger than my left. My balance was far better on my right leg. We all have it. There'll always be one side that seems a little bit more difficult, tighter, less stable, less balanced. We've all got it, so we've got to work with it, right? Okay, 10 more seconds. Here we go. So really feel that stretch. All right, come on down. We're going to move down to the mat now. The next stretch I'm going to get you to do is a hip flexor, which is the muscle that basically pulls the leg forward. When we're sitting for long periods of time, they can get very tight and short. So if you're stretching forward, your right leg is back, left leg is forward, you should be feeling a pull through the front. You're relaxed. Keep your head up and just breathe. We're going to come up and switch sides. So we're going to do the opposite leg. So the left leg is now back, right leg is forward. Just like in weight training, we don't want the knees jetting past the toes. So we want a good long stretch. And we also don't want to put any pressure on our knees. So we want to make sure that they're in line with the ankle. People again will find one side's tighter than the other, one feels more loose. It's very, very common. Okay, now moving into a lateral child's pose stretch. So child's pose traditionally, if you're familiar with yoga, would look like this. But for the purposes of today, I would like to stretch out your lat muscles, which are the muscles that run alongside of your back, just here. So arms go forward, and as you're stretched out, your bum is sitting on the top of your heels. You're going to walk your hands over to the right. You should feel a stretch in the left side of your back. We're going to hold here for at least 15 seconds. We're going to take our hands and walk them over to the right, and we're going to do the same thing. Just breathe and stretch out right side of your back. Sorry, the hands are over to the left. My apologies. We're now stretching out the right side of our back. Coming back to the center, we're going to move up into what they call a cobra pose in yoga. If you have any problems with your back, this stretch might not be ideal for you. You may just want to lie on the floor and allow your abdominal muscles to stretch the opposite direction that we're continually crunching throughout the day in the movements that we do. So now we're stretching out the abdominal muscles and retracting them the other way. For those of you who don't have back injuries, or are feeling good and confident, you can move up into a cobra pose. Allow your back to stretch, your abdominals. This is a really great one. Coming back down. Again, anyone suffering from knee injuries, the pigeon pose may be a difficult position to get yourself in, but if you don't have any problems with your knees, one foot goes across the body, the other leg drops behind, and you're holding the position, and you should be feeling it in your hip region. The side of your bum stretches out your hips. Alright, that's about 20 seconds on the left. We're going to switch over and do the right side. Alright, we've got 2 stretches left. We're almost done. We're going to move into a hamstring and low back stretch. Feet are forward. Again, you're reaching as far as comfortable for you. If you just get to the ankles, get all the way over the toes, is great. No matter what, as long as the body is getting a long stretch, you go into the stretch as deep as you can and as feels comfortable for you. You may find that the longer you hold a stretch, the deeper in it you'll go, and that's great as well. Just let your body lead. Feel comfortable, let it flow. Okay, last one we're going to do for today